And we are back with yet another episode of R&R. It's Jamerson Ballard. I'm the host. And we got another riveting episode of R&R today for y'all's pleasure. I appreciate y'all's views, man. Shout out to the Rant Gang. Shout out to the Capital Letter Club, man. My sign is really bright, ain't it? It's forward. So that's the only thing that really matters to me right now. Last time I had another light on with it, and I thought that was making it too bright. So I hope y'all can hear me all right. Can y'all hear me okay? I hope so. I've been testing 127. Testing 127. Yeah, man. Look, I didn't wait till my little and almost failed all the way down, man. I usually try to come out as soon as I unravel them so that they be ravishing. But your boy been making major moves, trying to make the most out of every day. So I really don't want the show to suffer. I've been kind of busy, but there has been a couple of things that have transpired that has inspired the title of the show, which is, should Black people stop policing the word nigger? I mean, I don't know, man. Look, man, it's been some years and years and years. And I could tell you my personal opinion. I left a link in there in the comments, so if anybody want to jump on, man, come on and we can rap about it, man. But I'm gonna just tell y'all how I see things from my perspective, and I'm hoping that y'all can understand what's going on, man. This is a viral conversation, I would think, especially for our community. But it's and I can tell you why I feel that way. I mean, why I feel that way. I think we should stop policing it. I don't think it's being policed properly anyway. But I think we should stop policing the word nigga. On the strength that when you actually, I want to say, make room for real power, because this being the steward of who can and who can't say the word nigga is not necessarily no real power, not at all. And I might get some flack for that, but in my house, it's not what a person calls you, but what you respond to. And that might not be how everybody is trained to go. Shout out to the Rant Gang, though. And shout out to the Capital Letter Club, man, because, this is just my thoughts as a person that's in pursuit of real, lasting power, for the lack of a better word. But it's like, is that the only thing that we have control of? And if that is the case, then that's probably why we go crazy when a person calls us a nigga. Because I noticed on a smaller level, whenever you can only have control over a few things, you spaz out about those few things because you don't have no real control over nothing else in your life. But when you get some real power, those things that are small in that respect seem to kind of like not weigh so much. And I'll give you an example as best as I can. Because with nobody in the room, I don't really have nobody arguing with me, which would be where I would shine. I would really give you a real time, quote unquote, rebut on why, because I'm pretty sure a vast majority are like, yeah, no, motherfucker call me a nigga. I'm gonna trip out, nigga. You got me fucked up. And I don't disagree with you. I had a cousin tell me, like, it just kind of depends on where I'm at in that during the day, like how I feel that day. But I get that too. You know what I mean? I just power is having the ability to give a privilege or take a privilege away, right? On a very fundamental level. And when you can't give nothing or take nothing away, you know, the smaller things, like I said, is just, it weighs so much more. So, you know, you just don't have, you would want to have some more coof when it comes to certain stuff like that, because like I said, crashing out over a person calling you a nigga could cost you a lot more than what you've already got. Like if you a nigga that just got out of jail, or you a gang member, or you ain't really, you circling the bottom of the barrel, you know what I'm saying? You trash in a lot of ways. Like your life is a little bit out of, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you can crash out and it won't cost you shit. But if you really got something going on, you really got some shit going, you ain't finna just throw your whole everything away. Now I get it. You know, it's like, oh man, I'll die about my respect. And I get that, bro. It's not even about not being respected. It's just like I said, you are what you answer to. Nigga, they don't address you by your name. He ain't even talking to you. What's crazier is I would imagine that if when a white person calls you a nigga and they see that you don't respond negatively, it's almost, to me, it would seem like it would be like when your mama whooped your ass, but if instead of you crying and it showing that it really was working, you laughed. If you laughed when your mama whooped your ass, or even when your dad whooped your ass, that would do something to them in a way it would make them think, okay, well, this shit ain't working. I mean, you know, you might have to go through more drastic measures, but that ain't gonna do it. So it's like, ma'am, sir, you know, they just called you a fucking nigger. Sir, the only nigger I see in this room is you. Because you think that calling me a nigger is gonna make me crash out. Now, I'm not saying that it ain't gonna be emotionally charging me. I mean, but we know we use it in our music. They getting a hold of it because they, you know, it's everywhere. I heard a group of white men, young men, on the late night. I was going home after I'd been working doing security, and they was drunk in the parking lot. There wasn't a nigga over there. They was over there, nah, nigga, because you got me fucked up. Nah, nigga, this nigga won't. I just went on to my car and left and went home, bro, because they was talking amongst each other. They called each other so many niggas. What I'm gonna do? Go over there and be like, hey, I mean, I can't say that. Like, bro, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? But like I said, when you get more going, just trying to worry about who's saying nigga, who ain't saying nigga is just like, bro, I got big shit going on, man. I'm trying to get this or this going. You know, police accountability in this state, or, you know, things like that. The fact that I got up under your skin enough to make you want to call me a nigga is almost like a badge of honor within itself. Because they feel powerless and they can't do nothing about whatever is happening to them. So they, nigger, shit don't bother me. And I'll tell you what brought this conversation about, really. I seen, I mean, you know, it was a rapper, white rapper, red hair. I think he got pieced up behind this shit when he went out to Cali, but he was in Texas and he was like, yeah, nigga. You know, like, you can always tell when a white person first get the they nigger privileges installed because they automatically overuse the word. Every other word is nigga. It's like, bro, it's like a motherfucker that just got their driver's license, or they don't got a driver's license, but they get to do something at work that requires them to drive, like a nigga that don't got a driver's license, but he get to, I don't know, work on a golf course for the first time, and he get to drive a golf cart. This nigga driving that motherfucker like he ain't never had a car before. Like he don't got a car, or a nigga get his first piece of vagina. He in that shit like he ain't never gonna ever get another piece of vagina. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, pace yourself, sir. Now you amongst however many black people, when you finally get the privilege to say back a word like nigga without nobody tripping, and you just nigga, cause nigga. But I think if we removed, you know, the it would probably lessen the desire to say it if we made it where it wasn't against the rules no more. Call me crazy. I'm just a pioneer. You know, y'all can thank me later, man. I mean, this conversation was supposed to be a lot more riveting because, you know, but I mean, you know, I just, these is the thoughts that I'll be having when I'll be having them. You know, I do a lot of work on the road when I be by myself. I have these thoughts, but I was listening to if you subscribe to my Facebook page, or you're a friend of mine on Facebook, you'll see that I still kind of post up wake the fuck up videos, like music that I rock with and I think people should be aware of, right? And I think it's light skinned dude. I'm saying it's a gray dude, but he looked white. Now, if y'all don't rock with me on a daily basis, you probably won't get what I'm saying. But I call people that are half white and half black gray, and that's why, you know. And I'm debuting that today on the show right now. That's probably why I got this gray shirt on, so y'all can understand that it's real. You know what I mean? But we in here doing game ups. Game ups is like push-ups or pull-ups, but for your game, man. You understand me? But anyway, I'm listening to this great brother on the radio or on YouTube, right? I mean, he got red hair, all that. You know what I'm saying? I really, for a minute, I thought he was white, but he was like, yeah, nah, nigga, on a new song he got called Ice in My Cup or Kush Belly something, Bellington, something like that. Like little chubby light skinned dude, really, really, really light skinned. I mean, dude, like I said, gray as fuck. But he you know, and I was like, but the beat was so hard. I'm like, he's saying, nigga, I don't even know if I give a fuck. So I'm like, wow, why is we? But I mean, you know, clearly he's just a light skinned black dude after we did some recon. And I'm just, you know, but the question still remains, like, bro, why is we? Now that's not the only reason. I just think, like I said, it's not really being policed properly. We out here just crashing out behind being called a nigga. Now in this segment of the show, I like to call it, Is That Right? I'm going to refer to some video about an incident that happened out in Cincinnati where a group of white individuals were, they got smashed on, brother. I'm just, the video is not going to show what it is that let me see. I'm going to just let the video do what it do.
A massive fight between more than a dozen people in the middle of the street. At 4th and Elm, just a block uphill from Paycor Stadium. Videos posted online show punches and kicks being thrown, continuing after a man is knocked to the ground. As the fight goes on, videos show a man punching a woman, knocking her unconscious. Chief Teresa Thigi called it a sudden dispute between individuals following a verbal altercation, saying, "I am in complete disgust waking up to the viral video many of you have now seen. The behavior displayed is nothing short of cruel and absolutely unacceptable. Our investigative team is working diligently to identify every individual involved in causing harm." The fight spreading on social media. State lawmaker Cecil Thomas, who represents parts of Cincinnati, saying it's unacceptable under any standard, and those involved should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Therefore, as your state representative, I trust that there will be a full and complete investigation of this incident by the Cincinnati Police Department and to bring charges against all involved. And the president of the union representing officers calling the violence disgusting, saying what's equally disgusting is those who chose to watch and record instead of calling 911, attempting to defuse the situation or render aid.
Now, I seen the video on X, man. I seen it. And I was like, wow, I seen a couple of dudes react. Oh man, it was disgusting how they did. Like, look, I'm not even here to. And first of all, they in Cincinnati. Now we seen about a month or so back some white supremacists try to slide through Cincinnati, and they got shut down by a group of black men that was armed. So we know, if you know anything about Cincinnati not playing, I think the people that was doing this little shenanigans that they was doing was from Russia or something, and they was out there at the jazz event downtown, and they don't really. Look, they only showing the ramifications of it. They're not showing it is incubation, like what actually initiated the whole situation. And it was like, I guess they might have been calling names, and I think two or three European dudes was walking around talking about they want to fight, and, you know what they'll do, and everybody was pretty much ignoring them until it got to where it was like, you know, they in each other's face. And one of the Russian dudes, the biggest one of them, I guess, like he looked like he mushed somebody by their face or slapped them or something, touched it. Now, we just talked about calling the names, and that's not going to work. But you put your hands on somebody, that's where it went left. Now, if you got X, you can see the whole video on X. On this platform, I'm not going to show it, so I don't get my channel flagged, but it was brutal. I mean, he didn't have a chance. I mean, for one, he was outnumbered, but it was just once they got on him, they got on him. I mean, he fell down. I seen the chick kick him in the face, and then some lady grabbed that black chick by her hair, pulled her, and then after a while, I think, you know, some dude cold cocked her, the white lady, and knocked her cold. She out, but she ain't, because her eyes wide open. She probably thinking, damn, what the fuck was I thinking? And maybe that was her man, and she, you know, she did what she could with another female. But like I said, a man knocked her ass out. And I don't necessarily condone that. But they say all's fair in love and war, man. And that was basically war that they initiated on enemy territory, which is basically being surrounded by a group of black people that foundational Black Americans that's not finna go for none of that shit, bro. They was waiting on it. They was waiting on it to be something. They didn't go for it like just because of the name calling though, which I'm for that I can say I'm impressed because it was not too long ago. I think it was some white dude in a restaurant somewhere in Nashville. I think it was in Tennessee somewhere, and he got maxed out for going in there talking shit. You know what I mean? So it's just like, what is y'all thinking? This ain't Russia, bro, where y'all probably walking all over the Africans out there and thinking that they ain't finna do shit because they scared of this ain't that. We not docile, bro, but we not really looking for no problems. We just not finna take no shit. So, I mean, although I'm not necessarily proud of what I've seen, I'm not surprised. And neither should y'all be, because it's inevitable. Now we got some other shit going on that kind of tripped me out, but I mean, now that I ain't kind of let things calm down, it looked like they ain't kind of brought it back around. The dude that came up with plastiline, he was missing for a minute, man. Let me see. Let's check it out.
From plastic waste. Let's go.
I'm not trying to.
A young inventor vanishes after cryptic warnings about being hunted. Was his groundbreaking creation the reason he's gone? So I'm Joseph Morris, diving into the chilling disappearance of 21-year-old Julian Brown. And trust me, this story's got twists you won't see coming. If you're hooked on true crime mysteries, hit that like and subscribe button for more cases just like this one. Let's start with who Julian is and why he's got the internet buzzing. This 21-year-old from Metro Atlanta skyrocketed to fame with his invention called Plastoline, a machine that turns plastic waste into usable fuels like gasoline, diesel, and even jet fuel. Picture this: old water bottles and grocery bags transformed into something that could power your car. Julian's been at it since high school, teaching himself wielding and tinkering in his backyard with solar power reactors.
So I've created my own gas station that makes fuel from plastic waste. Let's go.
Yeah, that's I forgot his name that fast. I think his name is, I don't even want to get it wrong. Let me see. Let me make sure I get it right. Yeah, Julian Brown. So Julian Brown was missing, but I was watching it was Willie D Live saying that his mama came out and said he all right, but we won't prove. So it's nice to see that he not missing in action, because you know how they do, but we do need to kind of rally around bro and a couple other people I would imagine need to be, kept a close eye on, and they need to be put together so that they don't get put together, you know what I'm saying, or taken apart, you know what I'm saying? So but Julian Brown, I'm glad that he all right, man, but he had been missing for a while. I think a couple of weeks after a post he made, they said, and they probably want him. They said he said he was watching him, but I'm just glad he all right, man. Those are the kind of things that we need to be focusing our energies on. That guy and the dude that created the water machine that creates water, and I think him and Julian have been hanging out. Brad's from the military, so he probably got some kind of training in order to keep himself from getting slid, but at the same time, anybody can be touched. So, they might need to, and also the brother Yaki Awaken, I think his name is, the one that's on Dr. Sebi's path. All three of them need to be watched over and, put up under some kind of watchful eye, the FOI or something, so that they don't get, they need to be protected, man. They need to be where they can be, not harmed. Because again, we sometimes we worried about the wrong shit. And it's something else that kind of, I ain't gonna even say it rubbed me the wrong way. I actually don't give a fuck. But it was, y'all heard about the group of people that like at that new white enclave that they're trying to, they're trying to be closer to other white people and make it like it, closer to their European roots, so that they can. I seen what's his name, the comedian that do the voices. He played on Soul Plane as Mr. Gay Man. Brad was mad. He was mad. Oh, yo, you want to separate from us? But don't let me catch y'all with no with no burrito trucks outside y'all shit. Like, don't eat no Mexican food, don't eat no Chinese food, don't, you know what I mean? Don't use none of the other people in the comments. Don't use none of our inventions that we made. Just keep it all the way white. Like, look, I I thought that was funny, but I look, man, stay your racist ass over there. If you want to be over there with your racist ass away from us, please do that shit. I don't see no benefit in us being there. I mean, if you got your own courts, you got your own hospital, you got your own. Get the fuck on. Stay over there, and if we did the same thing, could they really be mad at us? Because if they start that, then we started. I mean, come on now. We all decided to do that. Like, what could they? What would you listen to? What would you watch? You can't watch no basketball. You might as well be watching the WNBA. Ain't gonna be nothing but a bunch of layups. So you probably gonna hate watching football and hate listening to country music because it's all been niggerized to the point where it's like I'm listening to country music. If I hear something, it sound like rap. It sound like we are permeated every portion of American culture that there is no it without us. So as much as you trying to separate from us, I mean, we're the same people that made delicacies out of pig guts and chicken arms. You cutting yourself off. I made some greens the other day. They was actually fire. Greens for the first time. They was fire. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I heard somebody say, white people don't. Have you ever heard anybody say, I want some white people food? You'll never hear no shit like that. Nobody wants. But y'all gonna be over there eating bangers and mash? That's probably one of the green bean casserole, mashed potatoes, and boxed macaroni and cheese with some fish sticks or some bullshit. Like that's what crab legs. Like I don't want that shit. I don't want no shrimp. I don't want none of that shit. Go for it. More power to you. I mean, I'm not really mad about that. It seems like people in the uproar about them want to separate themselves. I just feel like they doing us a favor, man. They getting laws together what they can do. I mean, it's police officers. I don't want no fucking racist ass teacher teaching my kid, or no racist ass police officer policing me. If you gonna do that shit, stay the fuck over there, bro. And I'm not mad at that. I just don't, you know what I mean? Because it ain't gonna do nothing but make you mad seeing me riding around in my clean ass car. You know what I'm saying? You what they gonna do when they catch their woman watching some black porn? Oh shit! You bitches better not be watching no black porn. Nah, don't let them see you whacking off to no black porn, cranking your clit to no black porn. You know what I mean? Looking at no black soul pole. Oh my God. You fuck around and I mean, you know, I don't know, bro. I love everybody, but I've had this conversation with a brother of mine. I was like, bro, I don't even think that on a real level like that, white women, when they deal with black men, see black men as their leader. They just kind of maybe fetishizing black men. It's this, they're feeling horny right now and they want to do something freaky with us, but they don't necessarily want to, which is why I think that the country keeps us at the bottom financially so they have access to us sexually. And that's just me spitballing. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm pretty sure all women don't necessarily see that, but when they think that they're powerful, more powerful than you, and the society tells them that, the moment they get upset, that's when you see who they really are. So as much as they relinquish control over whatever it is when they getting fucked on, when they really not feeling whatever's going on, that's when you see who you really got. And the police come, it's like, oh, the bitch wringing her own neck, trying to make red marks on her neck so she can get you locked up. That ain't cool, man. But we gonna keep it moving, man, because we got some other shit going on. It was a a serial stabbing, or like a mass stabbing. Speaking of Europe, you know, it was a mass stabbing at a Walmart, man, where some dude stabbed 11 motherfuckers. I'm just like, who was number, 3 through 11? Y'all didn't see this motherfucker stabbing people. Now they were saying, I guess the people were people that they were soft targets. They couldn't really get away. He was picking people that was like slow or decrepit or old, or you know what I'm saying? And so that motherfucker's a coward, bro. And this is what they finna be huddled up around each other doing cowardly shit. It's like they probably gonna, as far as like the enclave, it's probably gonna crumble on its own without no help while they trying to run away from black people. Like it ain't no point in us trying to what? So we gonna, try to police these, individuals and tell them to follow some rules. Like they don't follow rules. People that have no intention of following rules don't follow rules regardless. So it's not like it's even a white, black. I mean, anybody, any degenerate is like they're made up in their mind that they finna not follow no rules. So, I mean, I tell people all the time, you see a nigga with 2 teeth missing in the front, and you just get away from them because, you could tell them again, but they've already been told twice not to do something, and they didn't listen. They still out here talking shit. They ain't got their front teeth that ain't showing nothing. That's not gonna hitting him in the mouth ain't gonna. You're gonna have to take it to another level, and that's gonna add up to what? Jail time, prison time. And some niggas like being in there. They don't got nothing going on anyway. So that's they claim to fame. They going into prison and jail like, that's homecoming. That's not where I live. So I'm not, but I'm not too cool for it, Sally, but I got other shit going on. I got other shit going on out here that requires my attention. So, we're not moving like that, but that's pretty much all I got for Is That Right, man? The next segment I got, and y'all have to forgive me because I gotta set up some sound effects and all that so y'all can have the claps and everything like that. But right now, I'm just enjoying the fact that I ain't gotta do no editing after this shit is over. This is it. That's it. That's what I've been striving for, is not have to spend another day and a half, 2 days looking and finding clips and trying to patch it up. But I mean, we still got sponsors. So Is That Right is sponsored by You have to forgive me. I ain't said my shoe brand in a minute, but it's Kicks. The Urban Shoe Brand brought to you by yours truly. So I'll leave a link in the description. Y'all can go check that out, and, on your leisure. But Celebrity Spotlight is brought to you by the Velvet Tiger. Now I found out recently that the Velvet Tiger is they gonna be here for a little while longer, but it's for sale. So if you want to buy more than just the weed, you want to buy the building where the brand. Look, you got some bread like that, go holler at them, man, because the gas is gassing. But I don't know. With the legalization of weed, a lot of these areas is being, acquired by bigger corporations, and like the small mom and pop situations are being kind of pushed to the side. So the weed is so oversaturated, it's driving down the price of weed, and a lot of these dispensaries ain't really trying to keep it going. It ain't as profitable as they would have wanted it to be. So shout out to the Velvet Tiger. I appreciate all they done, but it probably, somebody's gonna probably buy them in a little bit. But let's just get to some of this other, because it's a lot going on, man. I seen I seen where okay, so we had a couple of deaths, right? And I'm gonna say rest in peace. I ain't saying rest in peace to that nigga, man. But that nigga Hogan died. Now Hulk Hogan was iconic. In my ignorance, I did not know bro was on some racist shit. Regardless of the apology and all that shit, I'm not the type to unforgive or not forgive, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't really give a fuck about bro dying though. I know that. Shout out to his family though. I'm sure they sad and shit. But he was, I guess his daughter was dating a deadbeat black dude, and he was nigga on the, what I'm saying? I was like, oh man, here we go. Motherfucker could be on some cool shit, but when they get mad, it's nigga this, nigga that. Like, I know a lot of black people probably if they was caught privately in their house, they'd be all kind of PWs being shot out. They all them crackers and all that. Look, bro, that's not cool either, bro. I got some partners of mine that's of Anglo-Saxon descent. They solid as fuck. So I don't really, I hate that I even said the C word like that. I don't say the H word, C words, none of that. I don't, even in my, it's beneath me for real. So even if I was to get mad, I'm like, and I had an individual call me a nigga once. Oh man, I got friends that's niggas. Like, no, you don't got friends that's niggas. Your neighbor is a black person. Sorry, not a nigga. Your neighbor is a black person. If you have people in your life that you care for like that, it wouldn't even cross your mind to say the word nigga, because you really got people that you care about that's of, foundational Black American descent, bro. You're a bigot, you're a racist. But we got to get money, so it's not like I'm like harboring no hard feelings and nothing like that. I'm just, it's not going. You just showed me who you is, but Hulk Hogan showed us who he was, and it was a lot of good memories made from when I was a younger kid and I was watching wrestling and shit. But I ain't gonna cry about Brett dying. He did. He an old white man that's dead now. But who I did give a fuck about was my doppelganger, my man's Malcolm Jamal Warner. That kind of touched me. He was gone too soon. R.I.P. to him. Shout out to his family. Bro is best known for the Cosby Show. And he was on Malcolm and Eddie, and he done a couple other things. But he died happy. I mean, not happy like drowning, but I'm saying like he was, on vacation with his family doing this thing. I think he swam out too far and got caught up by that tide. So you got to be careful. I mean, black people don't necessarily be swimming like that anyway, but you can't get all happy and be in the ocean like that. That ain't like no pool, bro. There's no control over that. You can't just get in there and do what you want to do and think that it's going. You swim out far enough, that shit gonna pull you out, and you can't do nothing about that. You can't fight that current, bro. It's pulling you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't strong enough to box with that. So let that be a lesson to all of us who decide to go to the beach and think that it's cool. Plus, I didn't know this, but when they have cruise ships, for all you niggas that like going on cruise ships, they got this hose on the side of their ship where they just dump the ass juice from all the shit that's been on that ship. It's going out on the side of the ship. They dump it like 3 miles away from the coastline. So that's fucking disgusting. You know what I mean? That's just enough right there to keep me from being in anybody's ocean. I don't want to fuck with no lakes. I don't like seeing shit where I can't even see the bottom of the water anyway. You know what I mean? Like I'm not fascinated with, it's the beach. I don't give a fuck. I don't really fuck with no swim pools. I'm not doing nothing public pool. I'm not doing none of that shit. So, I mean, I can swim, but RIP the dude, and I just, hey, I'll be, man, what hepatitis? What? They don't take it and dump it in some ethical manner where it's right into the ocean. So that's nasty as fuck. And bro, let's swim with the dolphin. No, not I, said the real nigga. Won't be me, bro. Sorry. But anyways, RIP to Malcolm Jamal Warner. But it's I seen Umar Johnson broke. I'm really not surprised, bro. I ain't built no school, and I don't know, he had 10, 15 years, ain't did shit. The Prince of Pan-Africanism is doing bad, y'all. You get my shut the fuck up. Like, I ain't fucked with Brian so long. I don't even know. The shit funny, but it's really mostly pathetic, bro, that he online talking about how he ain't got no bread. He needs somebody to get to his Cash App and all that shit. Like, bro, get a job, nigga. Go do something. Cause that pandering, that Prince of Pan-Africanism, pandering and shit is, these niggas in the conscious community be so fucking parasitic. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I keep hearing about motherfuckers that be on some bullshit. I done heard them niggas from, what is it? The Leisure, my Leisure, I forget what their name is, bro. I mean, we all know about Morris and whatever his name is, from Tulsa. He ain't shit. He's scamming. I don't fuck with Boyce Watkins. He just a mark. And I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, these is the individuals, like, I done talked about Brother Polite. That nigga is a scammer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now these niggas, Gentlemen of Leisure. What are they names, bro? Show them some Leisure. They scamming. DJ Envy them scamming. Like, it's just, who are not scamming, bro? But this motherfucking Dr. Umar, I'm not really even surprised with this, bro, man. I'm just not surprised. It's irritating to see. Excuse me. He was talking about some lady, cat smell like fish, and was like, but wasn't that your wife? You married her, didn't you? Now she all kind of fish buckets. And so I don't know. I don't know where to go with this. I don't know. I don't fuck with, bro. Then I seen that nigga ASAP Rocky with some motherfucking Dorothy's on. I don't know if y'all seen that shit. This nigga had on some motherfucking ruby red flats. Not even flats, like wedges. This nigga had on damn near some heels, like with some white socks too. Like, bro, what the fuck? So you ain't You dressing in female shit, but you tacky with the female shit too. This nigga, you probably should have had on some stockings or something, nigga. If you was gonna wear the damn your Riri shoes, why the fuck? It's too much. It's too much. But aside from all that, we got that nigga Craig Smith. Craig Smith act like he want to fight Matt Barnes, or Matt Barnes and them act like they want to fight Craig Smith over some jokes that he cracked about them. And I'll let y'all see that because it was funny to me. You know, some gray on gray violence. What? Light-skinned nigga versus a light-skinned nigga. Man, I'm here for that shit. Let me see. Let's see what we got, bro.
Right here. Love Vernon Maxwell, but all that crazy shit he was doing because he was high on cocaine. Motherfuckers act like Vernon Maxwell was just this savage ass nigga. No, that's a quarter ounce of dope that had him in the audience beating up on fans. Nigga, that wasn't Vernon for real. Vernon is a quiet, humble nigga, but that cocaine. Niggas act like Vernon Maxwell was like a trained killer. No, nigga, that's cocaine. It shows how square some of these NBA cats are, because they smoking weed on a show with a nigga that used to be a dope fiend, and they feel like they doing some great shit. All the smoke, I love y'all. Let Vernon smoke. I bet your life change.
Yeah, go in your pocket,
because it really ain't all the smoke if Vernon can't smoke what he want to smoke.
Yeah.
Come on, let Vernon smoke.
Yeah, that's some of the smoke.
I bet you that room be empty. Vernon starts smoking. Ain't gonna be a cameraman in the room. Everybody clearing out. It really ain't all the smoke until we see Vernon smoke. What Vernon want to smoke?
Fine, Vernon.
So y'all got to change the name of the show to Some of the Smoke.
It didn't seem like Matt Barnes was feeling the jokes too much because he slid in the comments section to check Craig for what he saw as disrespect and wrote this: "It's all fun and games till you disrespect. Know what you talking about before you speak, goofy." Craig went on to respond, "Goofy? LOL, you a wild man. With all respect, this ain't that." Now, you know it's not a duo without the other half jumping in as well, and that means Steven Jackson appeared in the comment section to try to check Craig also, calling him a clout chaser, saying, FYI, his daughter passed, and the fan was talking about his daughter. That's why he went in the stands. Clout chasing and attention is the most addictive drug, to which Craig responded, "Stack, it's all love and respect. This is just observational comedy. I was raised in the trap. I love what y'all do, and I'm a big fan of Vernon. I'm a comedian. My job is making humor out of honest, real situations." And Craig went on to also say, "Clout chase? No, sir. I write jokes. I respect what you're saying and why you're saying it. This is how men talk and joke for real." Steven Jackson jumped back in the comment section to say, "Shit super weak, but you got to say our name to be relevant. Craig Smith, we all got demons in our past, but we help our OGs, not kick them when they down. We've all done shit we regret." Craig responded by saying, "Nah, Stack, this is all jokes. This is observational comedy. I was raised in the trap. It's never no judgment. It's pure comedy." This didn't go over so well for the roast master himself, so he went to his Instagram to respond in the best way he knew how, and that was with jokes. Craig went in on Matt Barnes, clowning him for driving several miles to beat up Derek Fisher for sleeping with his ex-wife, and a lot more. Here's what Craig had to say in response to Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson right here.
"Hey, Matt Barnes, a goofy? Ain't you the one that drove a couple 100 miles to beat up Derek Fisher over a bitch that still had his semen on her breath? Ain't you the goofy that drove hundreds of miles, 20 counties, 15 jurisdictions to put your hands on a nigga over a bitch that had his DNA on her breath? Goofy. Nigga, shut up before I call Mo Cheeks. Be quiet before I call Mo Cheeks. God! You a ball player, man. You niggas trick on bitches and learn how to read good later in life." "What is that?" "That's my name." "Oh." And that's the problem with some of these ex-athletes doing podcasts, man. They brands is for 9-year-olds, white gold diggers, and goofy niggas that's into Jordans. My brand is for the everyday working man. Get it from God. God!
So what y'all think about what Craig had to say, as well as Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson? You think they're going to keep this going, or do you think they don't want no smoke with the real roast master himself, Craig Facts? Let me know in the comments section below. Leave a like and subscribe to the GMS show. I'll see y'all later.
Yeah, man. I think that I thought all of that was fucking hilarious, actually. But yeah, I mean, you know, hey man, more power to him. I think it's supposed to be some kind of celebrity boxing match. Shit. I don't know. I don't got a dog in that fight. I think I seen Craig look like he trying to train and shit. And you know, Matt Barnes he angry, he emotional. And I think Craig kind of let them get him in his feelings when he called him goofy, because you know, he feel how he feel about athletes, and that's relevant, actually. It's relevant to all the shit that he had to say. But you know, hey man, you can't take a joke. So now you about to get in a fight with another light-skinned nigga behind some shit. And you know, it's all you had to do is, that's crazy. But they say pride coming for a fall, bro. So I don't know who was wronger. I don't think that Craig was per se wrong for roasting. That's what he do. He's a comedian. You getting your feelings about a comedian now. I think the dark skin one was tripping out on Club Shannon Sharp, when he was, you know, hot at Mike Epps behind him, roasting him for whatever reason. And now this, I mean, you know, it's just the you know, it's very catty, you know what I'm saying, to see, you know, I guess, you know, he maybe, you know, he didn't think that Craig understood why dude in the crowd and tripped out on, but I mean, we don't know what the fuck is going on. You niggas is, y'all niggas is, you ain't got to take up for that, man. He ain't even said nothing about his own, to, you know, if he said something to himself about Craig, you know, then let that be that, but you ain't got to take up for that old ass. I mean, you know, you ain't got to take up for your OG, bro. You know how to fight. You know how to talk for himself. You know what I mean? But they took offense to the fact that he was talking shit. So, you know, it is what it is. I look forward to seeing the fight if they're going to have one, but it probably ain't going to go nowhere, man. The niggas probably just talking. It's just, you know, they stay right out there by each other. So if it's going to happen, shit. I think Matt Barnes said it could go somewhere. You know, we don't have to have it on TV. We can have it with gloves, without gloves, whatever. And I think Craig said something about, I would, you know, love to share the ring with you with some shit. It'd be my honor to share the ring with some bullshit. You know, being condescending, and then, you know, said, nigga, you know, we could box, we could do whatever. And then I guess Craig just said, indeed. So I thought that was funny, bro. But that's pretty much all I got for Celebrity Spotlight. But that was like whatever, man. On Worldview, though, we got I think a couple parts of Canada is about to become the 51st and the 52nd states, man. Let's check that out real quick. Hold on. Give me a second, y'all.
and that issue. It's really Alberta and Saskatchewan that are speaking up right now. 33%, looking at the idea of separation in Alberta.
We want people here to have a high quality of life, and it's only through self-determination, which can only come through separation, that we're going to achieve it, and we will achieve it.
The reason for it is because of bad policies in Ottawa.
Western provinces just made a massive announcement about their exit from Canada. They're done being Ottawa's ATM while getting nothing but red tape and carbon taxes in return.
I've never felt this frustrated and angry in my life.
This isn't some angry rant. It's a full-blown Wexit movement backed by referendums, polling, legal strategy, and a level of frustration that's off the charts.
I can't, unfortunately, work with Canada. We're going to have to spend more time working with U.S.
So June 18th, 2024 quietly became one of those dates you might want to circle, highlight, and maybe even tattoo across Canada's political forehead. Alberta and Saskatchewan didn't just meet up for a friendly lunch. They held an actual joint caucus meeting in Lloydminster.
It's about Alberta and Saskatchewan and their particular issues today.
That might sound like a snooze to some, but it was literally the first time in Canadian history that the two provinces teamed up like this, basically telling Ottawa, we're done being your economic piggy bank. And they're not sending a polite email this time. They're saying it in bold, underlined 72-point font. Enough is enough.
Albertans send about $20 billion per year more to Ottawa than comes back through all transfers.
And people are ready, not in a vague, emotional way. This is backed by actual polling. 36% of Albertans, 34% of Saskatchewanians, and around 30% of British Columbians now support separation. Yeah, even BC is getting spicy. And let's just pause and appreciate how British Columbia went from granola-loving yoga stretches to let's break up the country in under a year.
For decades, we have not had our voice heard. We have been somewhat alienated from discussions and whatnot. Welcome to our life. You don't see us crying and complaining and wanting to separate from the rest of Canada.
But let's zoom in on Alberta for a second. You know, the economic engine of Canada, the province that contributes 14% of the entire country's GDP while only having 11% of the population. We're talking about a $340 billion economy that runs on 4.2 million barrels of oil every single day. Every single day. That's more oil than some OPEC nations. Right. But what does Ottawa do in response? Do they roll out the red carpet? Number they roll out Bill C-69, aka the Let's Ban Pipelines Act, plus a bunch of tanker bans. And just to spice it up, carbon caps that would make Greta Thunberg cry tears of joy.
Superpower. I mean, with a GDP of nearly $340 billion, Alberta single-handedly generates 14% of Canada's entire economic output.
And what's the cost? Just a casual $500 billion in lost investment. Yes, billion, not million. Not monopoly money. That's a figure so big Ryan Reynolds couldn't even sarcastically tweet about it without getting ratioed. Alberta's been bleeding out cash while Ottawa throws money at provinces that block their pipelines. Cough, Quebec.
Is this fiscal stabilization formula? It's designed to hurt Alberta.
And just for the record, Alberta has already invoked its Sovereignty Act not once, but twice. That's like them saying, oh, we're going to do what we want, and also, here's the lawsuit we're using to make it official. They won those battles too. Plastics regulation, handled. Ottawa interference, declined, thanks.
Quebec chose to lower its taxes. Albertans would likely be outraged if Ottawa sent more money east to compensate. So the answers...
Now, enter the Alberta Prosperity Project. This isn't just 10 dudes in a Facebook group angrily posting memes. We're talking 66,000 members, on the ground, clipboards in hand, pushing hard for a 2025 referendum. That's a full year earlier than what the government's planning. These people are not waiting around to be told no again. They want port access. They want control of their own resources. They want Ottawa to stop pretending like Alberta exists only to pay bills.
So yeah, I still haven't mastered how to pause it and talk shit in the middle. So, you know, I let that play probably a little longer without me. I really don't have too much on that. I thought that was kind of interesting because it's like, okay, we get that much oil in play and they become one of the Saskatchewan got a lot of things going too. I think they had wheat and uranium and another, I don't think it's a spice, it is something, some kind of item that they make a lot of money with. If Canada lose them two, just them two alone, it's gonna be bad. And it's gonna be really good for America. So I mean, look, they talking about breaking up with Canada. I thought that was crazy. Let me know how y'all feel about that in the comments. Me personally, I don't really know too much about what's going on in Canada, but I thought that was very, very interesting. How would we feel if we had Canada, like, you know, Alberta and Saskatchewan as a 51st and 52nd state? Anybody moving up there to go see what's going on with that? You know what I mean? Like, it might actually be kind of cool to be able to slide up that way on a different type of vacation, you know what I mean? But that's just, I think they said British Columbia is on their way too. Like, they all trying to break up with Canada. Damn, Canada, y'all just abusing y'all people like that. Y'all not fucking with y'all people like that, man. That's like your best praying bride about to walk off on your ass, and you like really can't do shit about it, bro, because you just not in for her no more. So good luck. That's pretty much all I got for worldview right now, man. The next segment I got is don't be a weirdo. You know, today's segment is don't be a weirdo. We got a weird deputy bitch that is kind of rapey. Let's take a look at that real quick.
Morning, the investigators seem to have uncovered months of communication between the 51-year-old female deputy and this then 17-year-old girl. We are told that those videos include the deputy performing sex acts on the then minor. The sheriff here at Miami-Dade saying she is disturbed by all of it. After several years of serving in Miami-Dade law enforcement, this deputy, Carly Miranda Blum, is now relieved of her duty and in federal custody, charged with receipt and production of child sex abuse material involving a 17-year-old. In the indictment of the 51-year-old woman, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Florida says Blum traveled to Atlanta, Georgia to meet up with the teen last year. Investigators say they found videos on the teen's iPad of Blum performing sex acts on the minor, uploaded in October of 2024. They also connected Blum to an Instagram account with a long message history with the teenage victim, where they exchanged sexual pictures and videos through June and July of this year. The Miami-Dade sheriff says they've helped in this investigation, confirming Blum was on duty and working on the day she received some of those messages. On the minor's iPad, turned over by a, quote, witness who shares the device with the young girl, federal investigators say they found an album documenting threatening messages allegedly sent by Blum when the teen tried to end their relationship. The witness coming forward now over concerns about the teen's mental health. Their tip prompted a long search of Blum's house and homestead this week, and now she is in custody. The Miami-Dade County Sheriff says these allegations are not only criminal, but, quote, a betrayal of the badge, the public trust, and the oath we swear to uphold.
Start CPR if you know.
She says they stand in direct opposition to everything we represent as law enforcement officers and as human beings. And if convicted on these charges, Deputy Blum could face a maximum of 50 years in federal prison.
So, Miss Blum, you are this week's Weirdo of the Week. And for all you niggas out there and bitches that think that y'all gonna get away with doing this kind of shit, you not. You in prison licking up on some kid trying to get away with it, then you threatening her to kill her. We are never done. She had that shit in all caps like, man, if you don't get your old ass out of here, you washed up, bro. You ain't try to lick on some little young something, and she got her whole life ahead of her. Why is you in here trying to, man? Anyway, bro, the shit rubs me the wrong way. It's some other shit going on out there, but that's the one that kind of stuck out to me the most because of the bad situation, I think, mostly, and the threat to kill. Like, if I can't have you, can't nobody have you. You ain't supposed to be fucking with this little bride in the first place. And you same sex and you weird. You double weird. Like, 3 times weird. It's ridiculous, man. But that's all I got for Don't Be a Weirdo, the Weirdo of the Week. Next segment I got, this is the final segment. So, you know, I'm going to do this and I'm going to wrap up. We got Who Got Active? You know, today's segment of Who Got Active. I know y'all heard me talk about the man that did the stabbing earlier. It was actually a black Marine or ex-Marine that put a stop to it. He put his blammy on dude and told him, hey, put the knife down. And so we got to honor that. I'll let y'all get a glimpse of that real quick before I'm out of here. And, yeah. No, that's not the right one. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Throw the knife away, he said.
This morning, a hero who helped stop a man accused of stabbing multiple people at a Walmart in Traverse City, Michigan, speaking out exclusively with ABC News.
I didn't think of anything other than trying to get him away from people and get him isolated and get him to put the knife down.
Former Marine Derek Perry says he was checking out at the Walmart Saturday afternoon when he heard a commotion.
A lady was like screaming for her son, and all the employees and patrons were clamoring, trying to run in different directions.
The suspect, 42-year-old Bradford James Gilley, fleeing to the parking lot. Perry and others dropping their groceries to surround the man. Perry pulled his gun. It's legal to open carry in Michigan.
Unfortunately, there was kind of like a mob mentality, and some very disturbing things were being said on how to deal with the situation. And I had to block all of that out and focus on him, because I ultimately just wanted him to put the knife down and back away until law enforcement got there. I did not see myself as any type of judge, jury, or executioner. I just wanted everyone to be safe.
Did he say anything to you? Were you able to kind of get a state of mind?
And I can see in his eyes that he was wild-eyed, and he did not look like he was in his right mind. And he was saying, they told me to do it. They told me to do it, and call 911. I said, they're on their way. They're coming.
On Monday, Gilley formally charged with terrorism and 11 counts of assault with the intent to murder. He pleaded not guilty to all charges, telling a police officer before the arraignment he did not want to participate.
Do I have to use?
Hey, man, shout out to Mr. Perry, man. Derek Perry, you did your thing. You didn't have to do that, man. But he did that. Even though he had his gun held to the side like a gang member, he's supposed to be. Like, bro, turn that shit right. I don't know. It worked. Whatever he did worked. But I mean, you know, like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I mean, it got a little smoother. I was a little bit, with all the buffering from the last episode, I was a little bit, I don't know. So we're going to get back on track, man. Y'all keep tuning in, and I hope y'all had a good week or a good weekend, and have a good week, and I'll see y'all next time. But this is Jamerson Ballard signing off.